Welcome to the Snap Society. I'm Jamie Larson, and it's Web Show Wednesday. We have a special guest with us today, Amy Schmittauer. She is the founder and the face of Savvy Sexy Social. If you ever have felt like an old lady when it comes to social media, like I do when it comes to Twitter, or maybe you feel like you've got it all figured out, there's still always something that we can learn when it comes to social media. And guess what? Amy is a social media genius. Seriously. You do not want to miss this episode. She is going to enlighten us in so many different ways, so enjoy the show. Hello, Amy. Hey, I want to ask you, can you just tell us a little bit about Savvy Sexy Social real quick to start us off?
Yeah, sure. Now, I have a video blog that I make 3 times a week on YouTube and SavvySexySocial.com where we talk about the marketing lifestyle. So Savvy Tuesday, we talk about very business-oriented stuff. Maybe it's networking, or if you need to get your headshots done, stuff like that. Sexy Wednesday is all about how can we make your brand more sexy. Some people don't have really fun things to talk about, like photography. So really kind to make people excited about making content online and how they can be engaging conversations that are more fun than what their actual line of work might be. And then Social Thursdays focused around social media marketing.
All right, and I highly recommend checking that out because there is such great content, and Amy's just so fun to watch and listen to. So, okay, we want to talk about social media. We know a lot about social media, but there's so much we don't know. And so when it comes to Facebook and Twitter, is there a difference between how often you should be posting, what days of the week, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I definitely think it's important for everybody to realize how every social network is different for a reason. You have to treat them differently. Mm-hmm. They're not just a place where you can dump everything and just send everything to all the places. It doesn't work that way. Posting frequency is really important to recognize that Facebook, you can definitely get your point across in 1 and 2 posts a day, but Twitter, you need to be posting a lot more often. I actually post every hour for 24 hours a day, so it's kind of crazy how different it is.
Okay, and that's a normal thing. That's not going to be, like, if I were to post that many times on Facebook, I feel like people would, like, defriend me. But on Twitter, you're supposed to be doing it that often.
Exactly. And Facebook's holding you back all the time from really getting in front of all those people. So there's really no point in going out of your way to post so many times. It's more about quality of content than quantity. Because if it's really good, then it's much more likely to be seen by more people because Facebook will push it up and push it up. Higher engagement means they want it to be in front of more people. But frequency and low engagement is not important to them. So they just have to be really good quality for you to even have a chance.
Okay, so with Twitter, say I just started a Twitter account because I did, and I'm trying to get some friends or followers on Twitter. How do you go about getting followers on Twitter?
What I love about Twitter is that it's so much more organic to grow a following there. Facebook, it's almost impossible. That's where I rally the troops. Like, that's what I always say. If somebody already loves you, they're going to look for you on Facebook. They're going to follow you. They're going to like your page. Okay. But on Twitter, it's a different story. There are things like hashtags and all these different conversations that you can be a part of that make it so much easier to get in front of more people. So if you want to tweet something, maybe your however many number of followers you have are following you, they'll see it. But if you wanted to get in front of a larger audience, you can fine-tune that information, add a hashtag, add a keyword, so that it'll get in front of people who are already following that information.
Okay, so add the hashtag.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I do see a lot of people, they're on Twitter, and they tweet, I think that's what it's called, several times a day. You know, like you were saying, 15 times, whatever. And then, but they also put that on Facebook. So what's up with that?
Big mistake. Not a good idea.
Okay.
You really need to treat every platform differently. Like, I'm not like we might get a little bit closer with Instagram and Facebook and how they work together, but for the most part, you should consider each platform differently. So if you're sending your tweet to Facebook, you're basically showing Facebook that you didn't make an appearance there. You don't care what any of them are up to. You're sending your tweet over because you're having way more fun over here. And those people are kind of like, whatever. And Facebook's like, whatever, third-party platform. We're moving this down. We don't care what your auto tweet is. So, and then the other side of the story is if you post your life story on Facebook, right? You probably probably didn't get to your point in 120 characters. And then you copy it over to Twitter and there's like 120 characters, ... and then a link to your status update on Facebook. Twitter people are like, no, thanks, not interested. So it's complete mistake. You have to treat every platform differently. Every piece of content needs to be fine-tuned for that. A really good example of that is I would never cross promote, or I should say auto post across platforms any of my videos, because I know that on Twitter I have to make my video appear one way for it to be enticing for someone to watch, and on Facebook it has to be a completely different thing. For instance, Twitter is very text heavy, but Facebook is heavily reliant on multimedia. So for you to not post, I recommend posting a picture for every single update, not just maybe one or two, every single one, because think about how much more real estate it takes on the news feed. It really, if it's a well done image, it grabs so much more attention. It makes people so much more excited to engage it. It's so much easier. It's much more seamless. And think about it, even YouTube links I don't like sharing on Facebook because Facebook doesn't like Google. So I share a thumbnail of my video and link to the video on my blog. That way I'm actually getting website traffic while we're at it. And I'm getting the best possible results over there when Facebook is making it so difficult to get results to begin with.
Okay. Gotcha. So, what about if we have, sometimes photographers will do mini sessions, or they'll do a shoot where it's on a specific day and they're trying to get multiple people. So they really want people to see that that post. Would you recommend them putting out ads, or how could they reach more people?
I definitely think that you could definitely add some incentive for your current fan base to help you get the word out. But ads are a really good way to do that too, because you can actually tailor an ad to be promoted to just people who are friends with somebody that already likes you, and then that shows up as this nice little like sponsorship on the newsfeed. Those people get to see your ad, and then they're like, what is this? And it's like, this brand, I don't remember this brand, did I like this brand? And then above it says like, Joe Smith really likes this brand, you should maybe look into this ad. And so then this person who's your friend on Facebook is kind of semi recommending you to them, and they're more likely to check it out. So it's easier to get in front of more people when you pay Facebook. And especially if you do it in ways like that, where it can actually pay off for you, because you're not just broadcasting it to absolutely anyone that's on the network who probably will never care. It's more about targeting. If you can really target and look into those ways of targeting with Facebook ads, it's definitely something worth looking into.
Okay, so targeting the people. All right. Now, what about, is there a better time? This doesn't apply to Twitter because we already talked about that, but is there a better time or day to post onto Facebook?
It's so hard to make that assumption because Facebook makes it so hard. Like, I literally just logged onto Facebook and I saw a picture I saw a week ago. And the reason why it's there, it's top news because there's so many people commenting on it and liking it. And thanks, Facebook, for letting me know that this thing's super popular and that I should pay attention to it. But it's old news. And that's fine. That's just how their algorithm works. They're trying to make me as happy as possible, but they don't realize I would much rather see the latest and greatest. So I need to just switch over my newsfeed to chronological. The reason why I bring that up is because it doesn't matter if you post more often, doesn't matter if you post at a certain time during the day, it's going to be analyzed by Facebook based on the engagement level. So the quality of it is going to grab people's attention right off the bat, and that is when the engagement picks up and the word starts to spread, and Facebook helps you push it a little bit more. You have to understand that mobile is so big right now that anybody can get on at any time. They're at work on their Facebook. They wake up in the morning, they check Facebook. They're at lunch. They may have gone out to lunch, but they're checking their Facebook while they're waiting in line for their burrito. Like, it's going to be any time of day. You have to test that and look at your insights and see if maybe there's a better time. And you have to know your audience. Maybe your audience doesn't use mobile. Maybe your audience doesn't look at all during the day and they're just hanging out at night on their desktop computer because they're not mobile people. I mean, I don't know. You have to know who your audience is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And by knowing that, you're much more likely to get in front of them at the right time. But at the same time, you really just need to focus on grabbing that engagement, so Facebook will help you get it in front of them.
Okay. Now, here's a question that I'm wondering. We want to have that personal connection with our people. So in our Facebook profile picture, and then for Twitter, I think you have one of those as well. Should we be putting our logo or should we be putting our face?
This is a really good question because I think everybody puts so much thought into their logo, and it's like, okay, it really doesn't matter as much as you think. Maybe you're using it as a watermark on things, and that's really useful. But in social media, people want to make friends with people. They don't really care about the logo, right? So there actually could be a lot of fun ways to do this. Like maybe you do post just a picture of yourself, and you let the brand name be the name of the handle or the page, and you're just saying, hey, this is who's communicating on our behalf. I've actually seen people do profile pictures where like the logo was like the backdrop and there was a face in the front of it, and that way it's like the branding is still worked in there, but you can see that there's someone here that you're talking to. It's not just anybody who happens to be checking the Hootsuite dashboard that's going to respond to you.
Right, that's a good point. Okay, so Google Plus. I keep seeing it everywhere. I keep trying to ignore it. And then I think, okay, am I just getting old because I'm saying I have enough social media stuff to figure out. I don't want to have to deal with Google Plus, but it is everywhere.
No.
So do I need to know about Google Plus? What the heck is it?
I think there's you could. I think it depends on who your audience is, and there's definitely a super user audience on Google Plus. But for the most part, it's really just this social network that Google decided to push on everyone. If you had any Google entity, all of a sudden you're on Google Plus, and it sort of like makes it less fun. But like I said, every platform is different, and that's why even I don't have the best Google Plus presence, because the only activity that happens on Google Plus comes from YouTube, because I have a huge YouTube presence. So because they integrated that, there's a more seamless way for me to engage Google Plus, but it kind of sucks for those people because that's all automated. Not even because I can help it, like just because they're trying to get YouTube to interact with Google Plus, there's more activity over there. So it's really kind of annoying, but you have to treat platforms with the respect that they deserve. It's a lot like Facebook. The environment is a lot like Facebook, but with the organic growth of Twitter. Hashtags and being a part of conversations and getting discovered, really, really easy and fun to do on Google+. It's just that there's only so many types of people over there, and I love what they've done to make it fun for the basic user, but the basic user's just not there. The basic user is on Facebook where their friends and family is, and that's
Do you think things will be shifting eventually to Google instead of Facebook?
I think we've been saying maybe it'll shift ever since it launched. So I think there's still time to tell, because Google is Google, and so therefore it's probably not going away.
Okay. So do you think
especially now that it's fully integrated with YouTube, fully. Every comment on YouTube is a Google Plus account.
Okay.
That's how crazy it is.
So do you think that we should put more investment in Twitter because it's organic than in Facebook because it's so hard to get in front of your people?
I mean, I only say that because my audience is there. It depends on where your audience is. Maybe Facebook is like the spot for you. Then you just have to focus on that strategy and really executing in the best way possible. Twitter is easier to be found organically. So that's what's nice about it. Facebook can pay off big time if you invest in it and if you build the strategy around it that it needs. You just have to know where your audience is. It's not a matter of which one is the best overall. It's the one that's the best because of who you're targeting. Okay. So if you find that your audience is on Twitter, then you're going to have an easier time finding them. If they're also on Facebook, then you just need to work a little bit harder over there to make it happen. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much, Amy. I just really appreciate you being here and taking the time. And I've learned a ton. I have like a sheet of notes that I've been taking of what you're saying. I'm going to have to rewatch this video. So anyways, you can head over to Amy's site. Down below is the link. And hopefully we'll have her on here again. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah, no problem. I'd love to come back.